Village men were famous for their laziness. It all started years ago when the number of women in the village outnumbered the men. It became difficult for young maidens to marry as there were not enough young men to go round. The men decided to take advantage of this situation. One day, the men gathered and decided that they weren't going to stress themselves again to provide for their family because they considered themselves as the prize. At first, the women protested, but the men threatened to send them out of the marriage. So they had no choice but to accept their fate because if they leave, other women were willing to take their position. So from then henceforth, the women became in charge of taking full responsibility of running the homes. They would go to farm, they fetch water from the stream, they carried goods to market to sell. They would still come back home and cook for their lazy husbands with their own money. All the men did was to sit, drink, gossip and mock their wives. One man would say,
Oh boy, this soft life sweet oh. Kai, see as I dey fresh dey go.
the other said, then another said,
Yes oh my brother, my own na to wake up, eat, sleep, then come back here to take tombo. For night like this, I go just tell my wife make she open, make I do. Dem no born am well make she say she no go open, abi she wan make I pursue am. She no fit try am now.
They all chorused and laughed. To make matters worse, these men don't even spare their wives even when they were pregnant.
Why you go dey do like say trailer jam you? No be belle you get?
One man shouted at his wife one day.
My husband, it is not easy. Please try and warm the soup and eat. I feel so weak. I've gone to stream today. I've gone to farm. I've even cooked the food for you. Abeg, warm the food now, make you chop.
Abeg, his wife said. The husband shouted at her and said,
It seems like you are tired of living in this house. No wahala. Since you don tire to dey do your work, make Akuma go marry another woman.
He threatened.
Abeg, my husband, no vex. No vex, make I go warm the soup.
His wife said as she got up to warm and serve him. One day, as the men gathered, one said,
Hey, yesterday I tell my wife make she open. She come dey tell me say she don tire because she get belle. I go tell am say I go leave am go find another person wey go open for me. Na so she just open sharp sharp.
He laughed. Another said,
You dey mind them? Very lazy women. Me sef, I don tire for my wife. That is how she will be spitting everywhere, always feeling sleepy. I am planning to marry another woman sef. I no fit for that her behaviour. No be she first to dey get belle.
He said. One day, as the women went for their weekly town hall meeting, the woman leader asked if anyone had an issue for them to sort out. One of the women stood up and said,
My fellow women, I am tired of this type of lifestyle that we are living in this village. How can our husbands be sleeping and gossiping all day while we hustle on daily basis? No, now it is not supposed to be so. We have to find a way to put an end to it.
And all the women said, You are very, very correct. Me sef, I'm tired though. We have to help ourselves. Then the leader said,
You are right, but how do we go about this?
So they all agreed to go meet the village goddess. They all marched to the river and cried out to the river goddess. The river rippled as a sign that it had heard them. So they went home. That night, it rained heavily, and the men were so happy because it was the perfect weather for Nkwokerekwo. They did it to their satisfaction. But the next morning, as the men woke up, they were feeling so weak while their wives felt so strong. They felt so sick. Weeks later, they started feeling sleepy always. They lost appetite for food. They were vomiting every morning.
Ha! My brother, I no know how my body dey do me these days. I just dey sleep, dey peace and wake these days.
One man said,
Me sef, I no dey fit chop again. My belle just dey do me somehow. E be like say dis women don put something for our food.
Another man said. Then a few months later, the men started growing protruding stomach. They were so weak. That was when they realized that they had become pregnant men. They couldn't understand their body anymore. One morning, one of the pregnant men said to his wife,
My dear, please, I feel like eating native jollof rice with plenty crayfish and pepper. Please help me prepare it.
The wife looked at him and said,
What did you just say? Me cook for you. No be belle you get. Now you first to dey get belle. Abeg, stand up, go prepare your food.
The man said,
Please, my wife, I know that you people are punishing us for all our wrongdoings. Please forgive us.
The wife hissed and left him. As time went on and the men's situation became worse, they decided to go to the river goddess to beg for forgiveness since their wives were not willing to forgive them. When they got to the river, they knelt down and cried. They asked for forgiveness and they promised to start treating their wives right. Again, the river rippled, and all of a sudden, their stomachs became flat and back to normal sizes. From that day henceforth, they changed for good. They started taking up their full responsibilities as husbands and fathers of their homes. If you enjoyed this story, kindly encourage me by subscribing to this channel. Also, put on your notification bell icon so that you'll be the first to know whenever I post a new video. Also, comment, like, and share this video. Till our next story. Bye bye.